Chapter 367, Void Divine Body. Who are you lying to? Do you think he'll believe you? Song Shi sneered. If he really believed a demon, he might as well be a fool. Moreover, I said that I wanted to die with you. Naturally, I have to keep my word. With that, he ignored his injured body and continued to pull the Sky Demon Saint away from the spatial passageway. He wanted to use the spatial storm to kill this fellow. Soon, they could not even see the spatial passageway. Destructive storms were everywhere. No! The Sky Demon Saint screamed in horror, but he was drowned out by the spatial storm. His anger exploded. He bit Song Shi's neck like a dog and killed him. Then, he desperately returned to the passageway. However, the storm was too violent. Before he could return, he was pulled back by the resurrected Song Shi. The Sky Demon Saint was like a person who had fallen into the water. He wanted to go ashore with all his might, but there were always something holding him back. No matter how good he was at swimming, he would eventually be worn down and would eventually drown. In a situation where he could not return, the Sky Demon Saint had no choice but to try his best to withstand the spatial storm. He hoped that he could persevere and hold out for a shelter where he could avoid the storm. Unfortunately, in this endless void, what he lacked the most was this kind of place. What greeted him instead was an endless storm. Song Shi could be revived if he died, but the Sky Demon Saint could not. The situation was destined to only get worse for him. His injuries continued to worsen as his flesh and blood were gradually devoured by the storm. It should be said that the Sky Demon Saint's vitality was indeed tenacious, and his physical body was also very powerful, as he was actually able to persevere under the corrosion of the spatial storm. In order to stall the Sky Demon Saint, Song Shi had to endure the fiercest spatial storm. He had died countless times before the Sky Demon Saint's flesh and blood were completely ground away. Slowly, a portion of the Sky Demon Saint's bones was also shattered, leaving only the hardest ones that could still be preserved. The strength of his soul was not comparable to such bones. After being swept up by the storm a few times, his soul dissipated. Ding, congratulations on killing the target of death. You are rewarded with one chance to draw the lottery. After an unknown period of time, when he heard the system notification, Song Shi understood that he had succeeded. I didn't expect this guy to be so difficult to kill. If I hadn't pulled him into the void storm, he really wouldn't have been easy to kill. Fortunately, I finally killed him and eliminated a calamity. Song Shi sighed and felt much more at ease. He had killed the Sky Demon Saint so resolutely not only because the other party had killed him, but also because the other party had threatened his family and good friends. Furthermore, it was related to the heavenly demon world. If he was not careful, it was very likely that he would bring the demon army to invade the boundless continent again. That would be really troublesome. Song Shi was in a much better mood now that he had dealt with his greatest threat. As he resisted the spatial storm, he looked around. I don't even know where I am. It was dark around him, but the terrifying spatial storm could kill him quickly. Song Shi thought for a moment. Since the storm here was so fierce, there was no hurry to choose a backup resurrection point. He would stay for a while first. What's this? Song Shi realized that there was a purple token between the Sky Demon Saint's bones. He reached out and took it. There were demonic patterns engraved on it, but he did not recognize the words. It should be an identity token or something. Why don't I see a storage ring? He checked and didn't see anything else. It was probably dropped during the battle, destroyed by the space storm, or perhaps there was nothing at all. After all, this guy had been suppressed for countless years. Song Shi did not see his sky-piercing shuttle either. He regretfully checked the purple token but did not see anything special. What a loss! There are no spoils of war. What a huge loss! Song Shi was speechless. The first time he killed an enemy, he did not obtain any spoils of war. He even lost a few of his Dharma treasures in the process. Fortunately, he did not have much need for Dharma treasures. He could transform into a sword with a raise of his hand, so he did not have to worry too much. He slapped the bone away and stored the token in the system space. ever since his Dharma treasures had been taken by the Sky Demon Saint after his death, and he had accidentally lost them in the spatial storm. He had learned to be smart. This time, he decisively used the system's warehouse to store things. This way, even if he died, such a thing would not happen again. After doing this, he gave up resisting. Whoosh! Whoosh! This storm formed by the spatial power landed on his body, and his top-grade divine body was easily torn open. Song-Shi isolated the pain and allowed the spatial storm to destroy his body, followed by his soul. Like that, Song-Shi died endlessly. Although there were no more rewards after being killed by the same spatial storm 10 times, the number of times could be stacked. There would be accumulated rewards after a certain number of times. Just like that, time continued to pass. In the boundless void, Song-Shi did not know how much time had passed. He felt a little bored as he talked to himself. He thought for a moment and said, "If I want to advance the golden divine body to the saint body, my body will probably need to be destroyed 100,000 times. How many times have I died already? It should be tens of thousands of times. I still have to die many times." He immediately felt a little melancholic. Now that he was facing the spatial storm between planes, it would take him a long time to die. If he wanted to die tens of thousands of times, it was really not something that could be done in a short period of time. There's no hurry. There's Yao Yuer and Bai Yuer, 2 soul transformation cultivators, guarding my hometown. Without the Sky Demon Saint around, there's basically nothing to worry about. I will just treat this as cultivating in seclusion. Song-Shi comforted himself and continued to float in the depths of the void, lying down to die. As his physical body was already relatively strong, he would probably die only 100 times a day. Before his body was destroyed, Song-Shi had been fully focused on comprehending the cultivation technique, especially the Void Sutra. In fact, he did not waste any time. 2 months passed just like that. Ding, you have been killed by the spatial storm 10,000 times. Congratulations on awakening the Void Divine Body. Just as Song-Shi was about to raise his physical strength to another level, something unexpected happened. He actually awakened another physique. This new body was unlike the golden divine body that enhanced one's physical strength, the 9 yang divine body that enhanced one's yang attribute, the yin divine body that enhanced one's comprehension, or the Kanate Tao body. The new body that was awakened cultivated spatial stats. This was a rare physique. He had never seen such a physique before. He did not expect to obtain it. The moment the void divine body awakened, a transparent silver divine light erupted from Song-Shi's body. Then, he felt the surrounding spatial storm suddenly turn into a breeze that was not threatening at all. It was as if his entire body had fused into space. When the destructive spatial power in the surroundings passed by him, there was no destructive force. Instead, it became like a part of him. He was like a reef in the sea, a fish in the water. A spatial storm of this level was no longer fatal to him. It's over. Song-Shi looked embarrassed. Even such a powerful spatial storm couldn't kill him. He couldn't continue court death here anymore. I never thought that there would be such a thing for me to attain. It's hard to die now even if I want to. Song-Shi was caught between laughter and tears. Divine light flickered on his body as he shuttled through the storm like a fish in water. In particular, after comprehending the scripture of the void for a period of time, he suddenly became enlightened. He had mastered all the tricks that he had not been able to grasp. He even could use the methods naturally now. Swoosh! Amidst the silver light, Song-Shi teleported an unknown distance away. He flew wantonly like a swallow in a storm. Haha, how refreshing! Without suppression of the spatial power, Song-Shi felt exceptionally free. He passed through it languidly for a while before stopping. At this moment, he sensed something and looked ahead. A very strong spatial power. Is that the boundary between realms?